Oh my god, I just could not help myself, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is possibly the most stupidest endings I have ever seen. Oh god. This Lashley Lana wedding. I knew it was going to be a total disaster. And that was the funny part. That was the whole funny part about the whole wedding. That it was funny because it was so bad. That is how bad the wedding was. It was that bad, it made me laugh. It didn't make me laugh because it was good entertainment. It didn't make me laugh because it was good. It made me laugh because it was that terrible. This is how you end the decade. A history moment. We are ending the decade. Now, of course, we knew we'd get to that point eventually. Well, for those who sadly passed away, they don't. But we were closing in at the end of a decade, and you would think they'd come up with something really good to close out an awesome, awesome decade when it came to WWE. Not only we have the start of this year, not only we have the women main event WrestleMania this year, we have Becky Lynch have an unprecedented title run. We have Sasha Banks who makes a shocking return. We've had so many good moments. We've actually had quite a few good moments here in 2019, and this is how you end the decade with this Lana, Bobby Lashley garbage. It was so funny. It made me laugh. It was so bad. That's how funny it was. It was funny that it was that bad. Lana, paying too much attention to the crowd. We chant Rusev Day non-stop. Getting annoyed at them chanting Rusev Day. I would rather do something else than watch this wedding. Lana was saying it's all about me, Lana Day, la 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 la, like trying to get under the fans' skin. Lashley was the only one being professional, just ignoring the Rusev Day chants, blocking out all the annoyance. Lana was just being the typical little child that doesn't like being interrupted or her moment taken away from her. So then we get to the good part. Then we get to, well, I wouldn't call this the good part, but you know what I mean. This is where we get to the part where the guy says not once, not twice, but 3 times. This guy says it 3 times. If anyone has an issue with this pairing, please speak now and they'll forever hold their peace. Basically, that is what he said. He said that like 3 times. First person that came out was Lana's first husband, telling Bobby Lashley that she'll dump you just like she's dumped everybody else. Lashley dumps this guy by giving him a chokeslam. Then, out comes Bobby Lashley's first wife, which I'm still sure it's his current wife. And then Lana just clobbers her. And then, the third person that interrupts is Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, a person who we've seen vignettes for. We've seen not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 vignettes of Liv Morgan. And this is how you introduce her? You introduce her in this storyline Obviously, when Liv is talking, Bobby Lashley's like, I've never interacted with this girl in my life. And then Liv says, I'm not talking about you, Bobby. I'm talking about Lana. So she reveals herself. So the real Liv Morgan is a gay lesbian. So that's who this real Liv Morgan is supposed to be. I don't know, but I just thought it was very, very bizarre. But Lana slaps Liv Morgan and they have a little brawl, like a little cat fight. And as Lana's getting her dress all fixed, Rusev appears out of the cake, tackles down Lashley. Liv Morgan ends up coming back, throws Lana into the cake. And that's how this whole thing ends. And yes, it is a typical cliche in WWE. Weddings always end bad. I don't think there's ever been a wedding that has ever had a good ending, where the people get married. Maybe Kane and Lita. I think that was the only one. I know Edge and Lita's didn't because Kane ruined that. Triple H and Stephanie's in 2002 got ruined. Obviously, John Cena's and Nikki Bella's because of what happened. And I'm pretty sure there's been other weddings. But 9 times out of 10, weddings get ruined in WWE. So, my question is, why is Liv Morgan involved in all this? That is my question. Why build us up to Liv Morgan's debut if you're only going to reveal her as a part of this whole thing with Lana, Lashley, and Rusev? I thought this made no sense. Why couldn't Liv Morgan just be herself? All the theorists that were saying she's going to be with Bray Wyatt, all those theorists that were saying she was going to be with Bray Wyatt, which, oh boy, how you people were wrong. It makes me laugh how people were so certain, positive, 100% positive, that she was going with Bray Wyatt. It makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh how people were so confident. Never was going to happen. Never. But sure as hell I did not expect this. And nor did I ever think she'd be a part of something like this. Would have I preferred her a part of with Bray Wyatt? Would I prefer her with Bray Wyatt over this? No. No. Do you want to know why? Because it doesn't make sense for Liv Morgan to be with Bray Wyatt. She's on Raw. And obviously, if she's on Raw, she'd have to have her own storyline. So that is what I mean. She could still have her own storyline and, actually be herself, but nope. Nope. They're just going to put her with Rusev now, apparently. Great, so now we're going to have to suffer through a mixed tag. Great, so that means in the future we're going to be suffering through a Rusev, Liv Morgan, Lana, and Bobby Lashley mixed tag team match. Isn't that just awesome? Isn't that just awesome? They're going to be suffering through a Lana match. And you're all going to be suffering with me. Anyway, moving on from that garbage, let's start from the top and work our way down. Show starts off with Kevin Owens calling out Seth Rollins and the AOP. They indeed do come out. And then they start a brawl. Kevin Owens fights the AOP, get games up on. And out comes Samoa Joe, who commences face turn by helping Kevin Owens fight off the AOP. And then Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and AOP all get sent out of the arena. I was thinking they were going to come back at some point, but Surprisingly, they didn't. First match of the night was match of the night again. Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. Once again, another great match between these two. Buddy Murphy once again loses. Surprise, surprise. WWE never giving the Australians the rightful treatment that they deserve. Being booked like chumps as always. But it was a good match nonetheless. Then speaking of chumps, we have Eric Rowan taking on a bum by the name of Kip Stevens. Yeah, that's really gonna make Eric Rowan a real threat on Monday Night Raw, beating up local talents. Yeah, that'll show though. That will show those people to not mess with Eric Rowan. That will show the main roster to not mess with Eric Rowan. Fear Eric Rowan because he's beating up jobbers. Please, beating up jobbers doesn't make a wrestler look any better. Charlotte Flair issues an open challenge to Natalya, but also she declares herself as the first woman in the Women's Royal Rumble. Charlotte and Natalya have a pretty good match, which leads to Charlotte getting the win with the figure 8. Becky Lynch announces that she'll be defending her Women's title against Asuka at Royal Rumble. This is the second year in a row where we're going to be getting Becky Lynch and Asuka. Because this year we had Asuka and Becky for the SmackDown Women's title, and now next year, in 2020, we're going to have Becky versus Asuka again, but this time with the Raw Women's title on the line. I'm not saying I have an issue with it. I'm just saying this is the second year in a row we're getting this. We're getting this. Next we had the Street Profits taking on the OC. Street Profits get the win. Montez Ford does a frog splash to Carl Anderson. And the one thing I find absolutely hilarious is that Montez Ford starts shaking the ropes like he's Dave Bautista. Which I couldn't help but to laugh at. That was just so hilarious. Next we have Drew McIntyre competing in a 2-on-1 handicap match. He beats Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. I find it funny that Drew McIntyre does like a poll, and he says, how many people think I should be afraid of these two? And there was like one guy in the crowd who put his hand up, and you could actually see the crowd actually zoom on this guy's hand that actually thinks that Drew McIntyre should be afraid of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. I just thought that was funny. Then I'm just like, wow, this one guy obviously has no faith in Drew. But then Drew says, raise your hand if you think these two guys should be afraid of me. And nearly everybody in the crowd just raises their hands for Drew McIntyre, that they should be afraid of Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre obviously gets the win here, delivers a Claymore kick to Kurt Hawkins, and does the Future Shock DDT to Zack Ryder. And can I tell you guys how happy I am that he's now using the Future Shock DDT? Can I please tell you guys how glad I am that Drew McIntyre is finally using the Future Shock DDT now? And I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, he's only using it because Dean Ambrose isn't using it anymore. Big deal. Big deal. Who cares if that's the reason why he's using it now? The Future Shock DDT was his original move anyway. It was his move before it was Dean Ambrose's move anyway. So, big deal. Drew was using it before Dean did. Besides, he's John Moxley now, in another company. So is it really a big deal if he's using a move that completely resembles a different person? It's just a freaking wrestling move. It's not like these wrestling moves should be exclusive to one person. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying I'm happy he's got it. Happy he's using it again. Big deal. Big deal if it was Dean Ambrose's move. We got everybody doing super kicks. I didn't hear anyone complaining about Dolph Ziggler and millions upon millions of other wrestlers doing the super kicks. Exactly. That was originated by Shawn Michaels. Anyway, moving on. We have Randy Orton comes out on crutches. I was about to say stretcher, crutches. Talking about his injured knee. AJ Styles comes out. And yes, I know it's a bit weird for me to talk about Randy Orton and I'm wearing an AJ Styles t-shirt. Don't really have any Randy Orton merchandise yet, but I will hopefully get some in the future. But yeah, AJ's taunting Randy, talking about how he's injured, and Orton said that he would probably be back by Mania. But then AJ taunts him by saying, "Come on, give me an RKO, give me an RKO," because AJ's trying to think he's not really injured. But then AJ truly believes he's injured when Randy doesn't do it, and he kicks one of the crutches away. Crowd starts chanting, "AJ sucks." AJ's just laughing it off, and then Randy Orton just says, "AJ, you may be patient, but I'm not." And then Randy Orton gives an RKO to AJ Styles, starts stomping the ground on his injured knee, revealing that he was never injured at all. He was never injured, and he was only playing up to AJ Styles. Suckered AJ Styles in. And I must say, it got a lot of people. A lot of people thought he was injured. It really got a lot of people. A lot of people really thought Orton was injured, and Randy Orton did sucker in a lot of people. That's why you gotta love Randy. He's so good at mind games. We had Andrade versus Ricochet. Well, actually, he versed a bum, but that never ended because Ricochet came out to save his local. But then we get Andrade versus Ricochet, which Andrade is now the United States champion, which I'm very happy to see him with championship gold around his waist. And what the hell was Selena Vega wearing? Bloody hell, she looked like she was in some kind of swimsuit. That's just the way I thought it was, but when I looked at it, Jesus Christ. But Andrade gets the win due to Selena Vega interference. Funny how she did this a lot in NXT and everyone was fine with it, but now it's on the main roster. It's a completely different scenario. But either way, Andrade gets the win with a hammerlock DDT due to Selena Vega interference. And that's that. And then we get the Lana wedding. And yeah, that was the last match before the Lana wedding. And that was pretty much your Monday Night Raw, guys. I thought Monday Night Raw, from start all the way to Andrade Ricochet, was good. I thought the whole show before the Lana Lashley wedding was actually pretty good. I didn't have much problems with the show until, the Lana Lashley wedding. I thought the whole show was pretty good up until then. Not saying that single segment alone destroyed the show being good, but I thought the show was good before that segment. But again, I'm not trying to say this whole segment made this Raw garbage. It's not like the whole show was garbage. It's not like the whole show was garbage and then Lana and Lashley topped the garbage. What I mean is, Lana and Lashley's wedding was the only thing that was garbage, while everything else was fine. That's the easiest explanation that I can give you guys of what I'm trying to say. But anyway, guys, that is all I've got for you guys. This is going to be my final Raw review of 2019. And as always, since I'm posting this on New Year's Day, and as always, I'll be wishing you all a very happy New Year, and we'll all be saying goodbye to 2019. See you guys then.